Armani was the kind of woman people overlooked until they needed her. Quiet, graceful, always polite. She never stirred trouble, never sought the spotlight. She was the reliable one at work, the one her boss trusted with deadlines, the one who could keep an office from falling apart when chaos erupted. She carried herself with dignity, even if her heart had learned to expect very little from people. And in her heart sat Gavin. She met him back in high school. He was tall, charming, the boy every girl wanted. Armani never thought someone like him would look her way. But years after graduation, he did. Their relationship began quietly, almost in secret, like a flower that bloomed at night. She thought it was romantic. She thought maybe he was just private. She didn't know that private meant embarrassed. Gavin loved Armani in his own twisted way. He loved the way she cared for him, how she gave without question. But he also loved the thrill of other women, especially Nene, his so-called content creator, side chick who had the body, the sass, and the Instagram following to match. For 2 years, Gavin juggled both women. Armani in the dark, Nene in the spotlight. With Armani, he was secretive. No dinners in public. No holding hands in daylight. No rides in his car. If Armani wanted to see him, it was always late at night. He'd whisper excuses when they bumped into people. "Oh, this is just my cousin's friend," or "she's helping me with some family stuff." Armani, sweet and trusting, never questioned it. Meanwhile, Nene was the queen of his Instagram stories. The girl he took out shopping, the one he posted vacation photos with. Everyone thought Nene was his girlfriend. Everyone, except Armani, who didn't even have social media. Armani's sisters never knew either. She never spoke about Gavin to them. Their family was strict, and she kept her romance tucked safely away, convinced it was hers to protect. Until the test. That morning, Armani stood in her tiny bathroom, her trembling hands clutching a stick that read positive. Her heart raced. She laughed nervously, covering her mouth with both hands. "Oh my God, I'm pregnant." She looked at her reflection in the mirror, eyes wide, glowing with a mix of fear and joy. Maybe now he'll see me differently. Maybe now we'll finally be a real couple. She called him immediately. "Hey baby, guess what?" Her voice was bubbling with excitement. "What's up, baby?" Gavin replied, distracted, scrolling through Nene's photos on his phone. "I'm pregnant, honey. We're gonna be parents, baby." Silence. "Gavin." The phone slipped slightly from his sweaty hands. His mind raced, his chest tightened. Pregnant. Armani. His nightmare had just stepped into daylight. And as if God himself had a sense of humor, Nene had just texted him the day before. "Babe, we need to talk. I'm pregnant." Now he had 2 women pregnant. His secret life was about to detonate. Gavin cleared his throat, trying to buy time. "Pregnant? Like, pregnant. Armani laughed softly, shyly. "Yes, silly. Pregnant. I even took 2 tests. Baby, this is good news, right? Maybe we can finally move in together. Start planning our future. I've always wanted—" Wait, he interrupted, his voice rising. "Slow down, Armani." "Damn. I mean, are you sure? Maybe the test is faulty. Those things can be wrong sometimes. Did you even go to a doctor yet?" Her face fell, though he couldn't see it. "Gavin, why do you sound like that? Aren't you happy?" He rubbed his forehead, pacing. "It's just, damn, girl, this is a lot. You know my finances are messed up. I'm still trying to get on my feet. Kids, that's not something we can just jump into." "But I thought you'd be excited." Her voice cracked, softer now. "Excited? Armani, this is serious. Kids ain't cheap. Do you even know how much diapers cost?" He tried to laugh it off, but it came out bitter. Armani bit her lip, tears stinging her eyes. She had imagined this moment differently. She imagined him hugging her, kissing her, whispering promises. Not panic, not rejection. And yet, in that moment, she still whispered, I thought maybe this would mean we could finally build something real, Gavin. Like us." Gavin's stomach twisted. Us. God, if only she knew. Because across town, Nene was filming a new TikTok dance in a crop top, humming to herself while rubbing her own belly. She already had baby names picked out. She thought she was the main chick. Meanwhile, Gavin stood trapped between 2 worlds. Armani, the woman who truly loved him. Nene, the woman everyone thought was his. And now both carried his child. For the first time in years, Gavin felt fear gnaw at his chest. His secret nights with Armani, his daytime parades with Nene, everything he did in the dark was about to bleed into the light. And Armani, sweet Armani, was still on the phone whispering, "I love you, Gavin. No matter what, we'll figure this out together." He swallowed hard, forcing a laugh. Yeah, baby. We'll figure it out." But in his mind, one thought screamed louder than the rest. How the hell am I going to get out of this mess? 2 months. That's how long Armani sat staring at her phone, waiting for a text that never came. 2 months of carrying his children in her belly while carrying silence in her heart. She had called. She had texted. She had begged God in whispers at night for Gavin to just show up. But he never did. Finally, with her heart heavy and her belly already rounding, she broke her silence and told her mother. The older woman's face drained of color. "Armani, tell me you're joking." "I'm not, Mama." Her voice cracked. "I'm pregnant." Her mother pressed her hands to her head, pacing the living room. Jesus Christ of Nazareth. Armani, after all the warnings. And Gavin of all people. That boy has no respect for anyone. Tears spilled down Armani's cheeks. "But Mama, he loves me." He said, "Love?" Her mother cut her off sharply. "If he loved you, would he hide you like stolen goods? Would he ghost you now, when you need him most?" Armani wanted to argue, but her mother's eyes softened. She sighed deeply, shaking her head. "Fine. You are my child. I cannot undo this. But if Gavin is man enough to put you in this condition, he must be man enough to face it. Tomorrow, you and I will go to his mother's house." The next day, Armani and her mother sat stiffly in Gavin's mother's living room. The woman looked genuinely shocked. "Pregnant?" Gavin's mother asked, hand pressed to her chest. "I swear to God, I didn't know anything about this." "He has been avoiding her," Armani's mother said firmly. "That is not how you raise a son. He will make the rightful claims to this baby. You hear me? We will not be swept aside like garbage." Gavin's mother nodded slowly. "I'll talk to him. We'll come to your house. We will discuss everything." Armani clung to those words like a lifeline. But days turned into weeks into months. And instead of seeing Gavin, she heard from her sister what broke her world in two. "Armani," her sister whispered one night, phone in hand, "did you know? Gavin got Nene pregnant. He went with his whole family to her parents' house. They even did marriage rites." Armani felt the room spin. Her stomach tightened. Her heart collapsed into itself. What are you saying?" "It's all over Facebook, sis. People are congratulating them." Armani wanted to vomit. Her knees buckled, and she held onto the wall for balance. The man she loved, the father of her children, the one she had prayed for, was building a life with someone else. Still she hoped. She hoped that maybe, just maybe, Gavin would come back. That he would show up at her door and say he had made a mistake. But hope has a cruel way of dying slowly. She went to his parents' house again. His mother shook her head with pity. His father didn't even come out to greet her. She went to his apartment. He was never there. And then, desperate, she created her first social media account just so she could see Nene. And what she saw broke her completely. Gavin and Nene smiling in restaurants. Matching outfits at baby scans. Videos of him rubbing her belly, kissing her forehead. A grand surprise baby shower, decked out in pink balloons, where his entire family was present. Armani scrolled with shaking hands, tears blinding her eyes. She whispered bitterly, "He never even let me in his car. I never even met his family. But for her, he gives the world." Jealousy stung her like acid, but beneath it was grief. Grief for the lies, the excuses, the years of hiding. Her pregnancy advanced. The swelling, the cravings, the nights she woke up with back pain. She endured all of it without Gavin. Her family supported her, yes, but it wasn't the same. The ache of absence was heavier than her belly. At her scan, the doctor smiled. "Congratulations, Armani. You're expecting twins." She gasped, covering her mouth. "Twins," she told Gavin through text, heart racing, her fingers trembling with hope. "It's twins, baby. 2 little blessings. Please, can we talk?" He never replied, and so she went into labor alone. Her sisters were there, her mother too, holding her hand, whispering prayers. But when the first cry of her son filled the room, followed by the wails of his sister, her joy was incomplete. Because the one person who should have been there wasn't. As Armani kissed the damp foreheads of her newborn twins, tears streamed down her face. She was a mother now, but she felt abandoned, broken, discarded. And across town, Gavin was in a hospital room too, beaming beside Nene, cradling their baby girl while his family snapped pictures. The world celebrated him as a new father. But to Armani, he was nothing more than a ghost. Months had passed since both Armani and Nene gave birth. The contrast between their lives was like night and day. Nene's baby girl was celebrated with fireworks, quite literally. Gavin and his family showered her with love, attention, and gifts. Photos filled social media. Welcome Princess Zaya in golden balloons, Nene holding the baby in a designer outfit while Gavin stood proudly by her side. Armani, on the other hand, raised her twins quietly with only her family support. No baby shower, no balloons, no proud father at her bedside. Just sleepless nights, bottles, diapers, and the aching emptiness of doing it all alone. Her twins were her world. She named them Aiden and Amara. She kissed their tiny hands every night, whispering promises to never let them feel unloved. But the wound Gavin left in her heart still bled. Then Gabriela returned. After years in Germany with her husband, she and her partner finally decided to settle back in South Africa. The moment she stepped into her mother's house, the family drama hit her like a storm. "You won't believe what your brother has been through," her mother sighed heavily. "There's this girl, Armani. She claims Gavin is the father of her twins. But you know these girls nowadays, promiscuous, manipulative. We don't even know if the babies are his." Gabriela frowned, her twin instincts prickling. "And what did Gavin do?" Her mother shrugged. "He says nothing. He is with Nene now. They have a child together, and that's where his heart is. As for Armani, she is on her own." Gabriela's lips pressed into a firm line. She knew her brother's weaknesses, his wandering ways, his habit of lying when cornered. Something didn't sit right. Days later, she made her decision. "I'm going to see her," Gabriela told her husband. And so she did. When Armani opened the door to her modest apartment, she froze. She hadn't seen Gabriela in years. She expected hostility, judgment, interrogation. Instead, Gabriela's smile was warm. "Can I come in?" she asked softly. Armani nodded, stepping aside. They talked for hours. Armani, shy at first, eventually opened up about the ghosting, the loneliness, the nights of crying into her pillow. Gabriela listened, her chest tightening with every word. And then Armani brought out the twins. The moment Gabriela saw Aiden and Amara, her doubts shattered. Their big brown eyes, their tiny dimples, the way their noses crinkled when they smiled. It was like staring at childhood photos of herself and Gavin. "My God," she whispered, lifting Aiden into her arms. "They're us. Armani, they look exactly like us when we were kids." Tears burned her eyes. Everything she'd been told lies. This woman wasn't promiscuous, manipulative, or evil. Armani was gentle, kind, soft-spoken. A woman of dignity, even in heartbreak. And those children, they were undeniably Gavin's. From that day on, Gabriela became family to Armani. She spoiled the twins, babysat them often with her husband, and filled their tiny lives with laughter. Having no children of her own, she poured all her maternal love into them. She couldn't understand how Gavin could reject these little angels. When Gabriela's older brother, Darius, moved back from Dubai, she wasted no time. "You need to know the truth about Gavin," she told him one evening over dinner. She laid out everything. Gavin's double life, Armani's pregnancy, his abandonment, the lies the family spread, and the cold way they had chosen sides. Darius listened carefully, his jaw tightening. "I'll make up my own mind. I want to meet these women myself." First, he met Nene. She was impressive in her own way. Glamorous, fashionable, always with her phone in hand. Her baby girl dressed in designer brands before she could even walk. Nene was ambitious, clearly in love with the finer things. She laughed loudly, boasted often, and tossed her hair like the world was her stage. Darius left unimpressed. She loves the lifestyle more than she loves Gavin, he thought grimly. Then he met Armani, and his world stopped. He couldn't believe his brother had discarded her. Armani was everything Nene wasn't: calm, respectful, humble, and selfless. He watched her move around her small kitchen, rocking one twin on her hip while feeding the other. No nannies, no flashy displays, just raw devotion and strength. She welcomed him with grace, no bitterness in her tone, even when she spoke of Gavin. He saw the loneliness in her eyes, but also the quiet fire of a woman determined to survive. And in that moment, something inside Darius shifted. How could Gavin walk away from this woman? From these children? He found himself lingering after visits, offering to fix things in her apartment, playing with the twins on the floor, bringing them small gifts. The twins quickly adored him, clinging to his legs when he left, calling him Uncle D. But it wasn't just the twins. It was Armani. The way she smiled shyly when he praised her cooking. The way her laughter, though rare, lit up the whole room. The way she carried so much weight on her shoulders and still managed to be kind. Darius was falling. Hard. And he knew, deep down, that his brother had lost something priceless. For 1 full year, Darius played the long game. He didn't rush Armani, didn't pressure her. He simply showed up in ways Gavin never did. He paid her bills without making her feel small. He whisked her and the twins away on vacations where, for once, Armani felt free. He showed her what it was like to be loved in the light, not hidden in the dark. Gabriela, of course, was the loudest supporter. She teased Armani endlessly, whispering, "That man is in love with you and you know it." Eventually, the walls around Armani's heart began to crumble. So when Darius finally confessed, Armani was shy, hesitant, and trembling. I like you too, Darius. Maybe even more than like you. But I'm scared. Scared of being hurt again. Scared of what people will say. Scared of tearing your family apart. Darius cupped her face gently. Armani, you've suffered enough. You and the twins deserve joy. And I'm going to spend the rest of my life making sure you never feel unwanted again. Then he kissed her. A kiss that sealed her fears away and opened a new chapter. Months later, he proposed under the stars, the twins clapping their tiny hands with excitement. Armani said yes, though tears of disbelief streamed down her face. For once, she wasn't the secret. She was the prize. But before the wedding, Darius faced his brother. "Armani and I are getting married," Darius said, voice steady, eyes locked on Gavin's. "I love her. I love those kids. I'm their father now. This isn't a negotiation." Gavin smirked bitterly. "You think Armani will marry you? She's too loyal. One word from me, and she'll come running back." But Darius stood his ground. "That's where you're wrong. You don't own her anymore." Gavin, masking his heartbreak, offered a half-hearted blessing. But his eyes burned with resentment. The wedding day arrived, and Armani walked down the aisle in a flowing white gown, Aiden and Amara scattering petals ahead of her. Darius waited at the altar, his face glowing with pride. Gabriela cried the loudest. Armani said, "I do," to the love of her life, to the man who had chosen her when no one else would. But Gavin, standing at the back of the church, felt his chest tighten. He had never believed Armani would leave him, least of all for his own brother. Jealousy festered into rage, and he vowed silently, "I will ruin them." A few months into their marriage, Gavin tried. One afternoon, Armani waited outside the family home for Darius to pick her up. Gavin appeared, smirking. "You still love me," he whispered, stepping close. "Leave my brother. We can fix this. You know you belong to me." Armani stepped back, her voice calm but firm. "No, Gavin. I don't love you anymore. You had your chance and you threw me away." His face twisted. "You ungrateful witch. After everything I gave you." His voice rose, loud enough for neighbors to peek out. "You think you're better than me because you trapped my brother? Look at you, just a charity case he's parading around." At that moment, Darius's car pulled up. He jumped out, fists clenched, ready to attack his brother. The air crackled with tension, but Armani placed a gentle hand on his chest. "No, Darius. He's not worth it." Their restraint humiliated Gavin more than any punch could. That same week, Nene made her decision. She had endured a year of misery with Gavin. His money was drying up, he was stingy, short-tempered, and now blatantly unfaithful. She had gone from the queen of Instagram to a miserable shadow in her own home. Watching him publicly humiliate Armani outside their parents' house was the final straw. "I'm done, Gavin," she told him coldly, packing her things. "I've learned my lesson. I'll never wreck another woman's home again." She left with her daughter, determined to rebuild her life far away from him. As for Gavin, he spiraled. Without Armani, without Nene, without family respect, he became a ghost of himself, haunted by the women he had wronged, by the children he had rejected. But Armani and Darius, they blossomed. Together, they built a warm, loving home for Aiden and Amara. Darius never called them stepchildren. They were his children, through and through. He tucked them in at night, took them to school, clapped the loudest at their little recitals. And then, one bright morning, Armani placed a pregnancy test on the bathroom counter, 2 pink lines. When she told Darius, his eyes welled with tears. He dropped to his knees, kissing her belly, whispering, "Thank you, God. Thank you for giving me everything I've ever prayed for." 9 months later, they welcomed a baby girl into their family. Gabriela, crying as she held her new niece, whispered, "Now your story is complete." And so, despite all the tears, betrayal, and pain, Armani and Darius' story ended in joy. A true happy ending. Epilogue 5 years later. The morning sun spilled through the curtains of the Dlamini family home. Laughter rang out from the backyard as Aiden and Amara, now energetic 7-year-olds, chased their little sister, Zara, who was 5 and already a force of nature. "Daddy, catch me if you can." Zara squealed as she darted across the grass, her tiny braids flying. Darius stood on the porch, arms crossed, a smile stretching wide across his face. "Oh, I'm coming for you, princess," he bellowed playfully before chasing after her, the twins joining in. Armani leaned against the doorway, one hand resting on her growing belly. Yes, another baby was on the way. She shook her head, laughing softly as she watched her husband roll on the grass with the kids. She often thought about how far she had come, from the lonely girl hiding in the shadows of a one-sided love to a wife, a mother, a woman deeply cherished. She no longer questioned if she was enough. With Darius, she knew she was more than enough. Inside the house, Gabriela sat with her husband, scrolling through photos of her nieces and nephews. "They're growing too fast," she sighed. "I'm definitely the spoiling aunt forever." Her husband chuckled. "You wouldn't have it any other way." Meanwhile, Nene had rebuilt her life. She had launched her own small fashion boutique and was raising her daughter independently. She no longer cared for the glitz and glamour that once ruled her world. Instead, she found pride in being stable, grounded, and present for her child. As for Gavin, he was a shadow of the man he once was. Years of reckless living had caught up with him. His career had collapsed, his money dried up, and women who once flocked to him now turned away. He was forced to move back home with his parents. He lived quietly, almost forgotten. One Sunday afternoon, he saw Armani, Darius, and the children walking into church. Armani looked radiant. Darius carried Zara in his arms, and the twins skipped happily ahead. For a moment, Gavin stood frozen on the sidewalk, his chest tightening. That was supposed to be his family. But it wasn't. It never would be. And in his heart, he knew why. He had thrown away the best thing that had ever happened to him. Back in their home, later that night, Armani tucked Aiden and Amara into bed. Darius kissed Zara goodnight before sliding into bed beside his wife. He placed his hand over her belly, where life fluttered within. "I don't know how I got this lucky," he whispered. Armani smiled, tears in her eyes. "Because you were brave enough to love me when no one else would." He kissed her forehead, pulling her close. "Forever, Armani. You and me. Forever." And with the sound of their children's laughter echoing through the halls, Armani finally closed her eyes with a heart full of peace. Because this time, love wasn't hidden. It was hers out loud forever. The end.